What's up guys, I'm FC7 and welcome to a brand new FIFA 16 wishlist video and FIFA 16 new features video. If you enjoy these types of videos, please leave a like, it really means a lot to me. And also let me know in the comments below what kind of changes do you want to see on FIFA 16. This is the series where I highlight your best suggestions and we have a discussion in the comments. I would love to hear your suggestions because I got some brilliant suggestions on some previous similar videos to this, and I want to highlight one of them. Those tolerable noobs, that's the username who left this brilliant comment. So he says, while I doubt they particularly care about career mode features, I would love to see, for example, the ability to secure sponsorship deals, and also from shirt sponsors should be changed from default to fictional sponsors, and also as well giving us naming rights to companies for each stand or maybe a whole stadium naming rights in return for a cash injection into the club you are managing. That would be brilliant. Like, imagine, for example, in my Nottingham Forest career mode, imagine if you get into the Premier League and you build a better stadium and a big company comes in and you sell the naming rights to that company, so it will be called Samsung Stadium or something like that, and you get a huge transfer war chest like £30 million. That would make a world of a difference to a small club like that, and that would be a great addition, I think, into career mode. Also, you should be able to adjust the ticket prices, and you should increase the income by making the ticket prices higher. If your team is doing well and you still fill the stadium, you can try and push the prices higher and higher until the attendances drop considerably. I know it's happening in real life and it's not a really good thing, but in the game, it would make the game more realistic to be able to do this in the game as well. And also, in relation to this, he says that you should have dynamic attendance. So depending on how your team does in the league and in the cups, the attendance should increase or decrease in all competitions. Also, dynamic player growth would be also a brilliant idea, I think. So growth should have a modifier to potential, for example, plus 10% or plus 20% to potential, depending on player performance. So if a player performs really well and plays well every game, scores every goal, then his finishing and everything else, the striker attributes should go up a little bit faster than, for example, another player who also have a high potential but doesn't perform that well for the team, and that would make realistic. So if you have he says if you have a player with 70 potential and he does a Harry Kane, this can increase to 84 provided you maintain the level of consistency. And that's actually a great idea and also a great example. Harry Kane, who went from literally a quite unknown young player to a Premier League superstar with scoring 30 goals for Tottenham in a season in all competitions. Also, he says player discipline. You should provide a greater array of ways your player can interact with you, and perhaps maybe to communicate with text messages. We already have something similar in FIFA 15 career mode. So, for example, if a young player becomes extremely stressful, Raheem Sterling in real life, for example, they may become greedy and develop discipline problems. Perhaps they could introduce the RPG features, like giving players a focus bar in addition to form, which affects how focused they are on their football, as opposed to the celebrity side. That's another brilliant idea, and there are so many cutscene ideas that I have about this. It would make just a separate, whole very long video. For example, if take an example, Raheem Sterling, young player, he gets into trouble, he gets into the newspapers, and maybe his performance dips, maybe he starts complaining to you, and maybe then you bench him for a couple of games just to cool things down, and then he comes back and performs again and settles down, and you could maybe have some cutscenes where you interact with him, you tell him how to behave off the field, you tell him how to behave on the field, and everything else. That would be just brilliant. Also, you should be able to upgrade and change stadiums. That's actually a very good idea. For example, yeah, that you should have the ability to increase the capacity of Anfield, for example, just like real life Liverpool are increasing the capacity in like 5 or 6 seasons to 60,000 seater stadium, and you should be able to do that on FIFA as well. Also, maybe include a software into FIFA, which would be very difficult, I think, to maybe design your own stadium. Imagine that. Imagine that. If somebody has, you know, the architect mind, you could design your own stadiums and just build it in the game. That would be absolutely brilliant. Also, you should add. He says we should be able to see cutscenes of players presented to the crowd when a new signing comes in, real-time press conferences with voice acting, just like in the NBA 2K My Player mode. I would love that, man. I would love that. Also, unique managers. He says you should be able to see unique managers generated by the AI, just like regen players, you know, and develop a relationship between yourself and that manager. So if you beat them by a heavy margin, they could develop a rivalry with you, and they would like talk shit about you in the press before the next game. And also the commentators should maybe reference this and have a word on this during the game. That would be really good. Like Arsene Wenger and Mourinho have great rivalry on the pitch and off the pitch in the press conferences as well. So, and Mourinho was pushed by Wenger in the first Arsenal-Chelsea game this season, and that could be implemented in real life. You could have some cutscenes as well, with some friendly cutscenes with other managers and also some rivalry cutscenes with other managers. I would love to see that, man. So let me know, guys, what do you think about these, and also what do you think about what should be changed in FIFA 16 career mode. I want to hear your opinion, and thanks for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed it. See you later, guys. Have a lovely day. Goodbye.